You guys have been asking about the usability of the boost kit in a desk. As a disclaimer, the Fanatec CSL DD was sent by Fanatec for review, and I also have a Fanatec affiliate link below. First, we need to establish a baseline, and to do so, we need to configure the CSL DD or DD Pro towards 63% force feedback. That will give us about 5 Newton meters, which is the most likely scenario this wheel clamp will be used with. At 5 Newton meters, this isn't too bad, except when you brake, the chair goes back, and we need to fix that. Quick pro tip. If your chair rolls, just use a shoe. No matter how much force feedback you're gonna put through this wheel or any wheel, your experience will definitely vary depending on your desk. My desk wasn't built for this. My desk, like any IKEA desks, they'll be floating around left and right, and this one is no exception, especially because it has that kitchen worktop on top of it. And it's a worktop that is quite heavy, so it will definitely move around quite a lot. The big advantage of a worktop, instead of the regular IKEA desks, is that you can actually put some force into the clamp and fix it. I've been fixing stuff to IKEA desks, and after a while, because the interior generally is hollow, after a while it just starts to sink. At 5 Newton meters, for this scenario, which isn't, the most aggressive, you can still hear some clacks from the clamp. Could be probably better secured. I don't feel very confident because I'm used to another scenario. I'm always driving in a rig. But I would assume this would be a very regular experience in most desks, where it's secured at this power, but it could be better in the desk, depending on the weight, depending on the material, depending on construction, will wobble a bit. Will always wobble, but that 5 Newton meters peak, which is the one we're using, it seems to be okay, but this is not the most aggressive scenario. Now, this could be one of the most aggressive scenarios for your desk. Drifting, I suppose rally it will be the same thing. I have no idea how to drift with just a button and without a clutch or a handbrake. I'm very sure there will be people around in the comment section saying, oh, it's super easy. But this is an okay idea to test the desk, and it's, it's doing okay. After a while, it could be very much the case that your desk will start to creak more and more as more stress is put into it. This shouldn't be a scenario that you would want your desk to be in for such a long period of time, where you're always using the force feedback. The desk will feel a lot of stress, and it probably start to sink in. It will probably start to break and crack, so be very careful. I wouldn't recommend an extensive use of very high force feedback. Even at 5 Newton meters, I wouldn't recommend that. With the 8 Newton meters, I can see this will be far more difficult for the desk. The small movements are going to be super sharp and strong. With 8 Newton meters, well, you got the point. I can see that it's going to be far more difficult for the desk. Even with small movements, the movements are faster. They are definitely much stronger. And it will put a lot of stress into the desk clamp. I can feel it already. Not even sure if the desk clamp will be able to withstand this kind of torture in use for long periods of time. Even basically turning the wheel, because there's so much gyroscopic effect, definitely feel that there is something giving below there. In movements like this, where I need to fight the steering, when you have a counter movement from the force feedback, there is definitely some counter torque being applied, and the table feels like it's moving all over. This is something that I don't recommend at all. And now for the test that I'm dreading to do. I'm afraid of releasing the wheel. Oh no, it's the oscillations. You really need to look at this. I need to set up the force feedback better, but this gives you a correct idea that some desks, a lot of desks, because a lot of people use IKEA desks, wouldn't be up to snuff for this. You would definitely need to do some heavy modding to make the desk far, far more stable. But drifting with this is amazing as always. Also, I feel that the steering wheel is clipping, and I can feel now the desk bending forwards. This is not healthy. This is not healthy. Some quick conclusions. It shouldn't be a surprise that I don't really recommend this option, even though it exists. And I don't really recommend this option in pretty much any wheel besides the G29. And even so, if you could fix it to something else, it would be better. Depending on your desk, it might not be the correct solution. And even at 5 Newton meters on my desk, it wobbles all around. And if you raise the power, it's even worse. Of course, technically you can lower the power of the wheel, but then you'll be losing some that the wheel can provide. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time.